Welcome to the show. Today, we are going to be talking to someone who just is going to hit their first $100,000 year this year. So, I am excited to hear from him, see all about what he's been going through, what he started his business, and where he is today. That's what we're going to be talking about, hitting your first $100,000 this year. So, I'm excited to have this guest on tonight. But we start each show with the live viewer shout outs, and I see some people already getting in here over on Instagram. Remember, if you are watching on Facebook or Instagram, do me a favor and comment down below. Let me know that you are here so that I can shout you out because we like to start each show by shouting out people who are watching in the live viewing online audience, which is always dope here at On the Attack with Mac. But we always, after that, get to the motivational minute, followed by Tate's word of the week. Then we will go through my quick weekly recap, and we will bring on tonight's guest to hear how they got to 100,000 this year. So you can use some of the steps that they use to become successful here in lawn care. I am so excited. Also today, I am trying something new. I always got so much energy whenever I do this show. I felt confined while I was sitting down in the chair all the time. So I would lose my energy sometimes. Today, I decided to raise my desk up. All right. And now we are standing up somewhat like Pat McAfee. So today's going to be a fun show. It's going to be energy and all of that. And I am excited. But over here on Instagram, we got my man, Willie the Grass Man. Let me get over here. Willie the Grass Man, lick them lawns. Nelmar underscore Mo Masters MD says, what's cooking, man? Lone Wolf Landscaping, the God Gerard, Keystone Terra in the building. LBC OG Seeds Landscaping. My man Marcus Tate is in the building. And we got Keystone Terra. I already said them. What is going on with y'all? I am excited tonight, man. We got SL Clanscape. Clandscape, CR Lawn Maintenance. My homie Drew is in the building. Lawrence Talbert in the building. Adam Lovett, what's going on? 100K, let's go. That's what he said, man. I'm excited every time I hear about someone who has got 100K. I know the symbolism behind hearing $100,000. So many of us, that is a goal, right? Some of us never made 100,000 in our entire life, and then you start a business, and it happens quickly. All right. Once you know what you're doing and you got all of these different podcasts and people who are out here sharing this good information so that you could go out there and win in life. That's what it's all about. And we're going to hear about that today. So I'm excited. I hope that you are too. And we got Bluegrass Lawn Corp in the building. What's going on with you? And Drew is in here as always. But now that we have shouted some people out, we will shout some more people out in a second or two. We got to get to this week's motivational minute. It has been inspired by, I forgot to put my lights up in the back. Sheesh. We look at this. The damn light's in my hand right now. We're gonna put this back here real quick. Can I reach? Let's see. Let's throw this back here. Light that on up. Take this one. Light that up. It's kind of cool when you can stand up and do all of this. Hold on one second. Much better. That looks way more professional. But this week's motivational minute, I was watching Instagram Reels like I normally do. All right. And I don't know if you ever seen a show on Ted Lasso. It's a great show about a guy who's a general manager. His name is Ted Lasso of a soccer team over in Europe somewhere, I believe. But anyway, he was in the locker room. He was talking to this guy. And this guy said, never stop, no matter how many failures. When you know you're doing what you're meant to do, you have to try. And that just spoke to me because now I believe 100% in my heart and soul that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Whether it's on the grass cutting go kart, or if it's on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or the live show or the podcast talking to you, I now know I have to try because I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So if you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, never stop. If it's not successful now, it will be soon. Why? Because you won't stop until it is. So never stop, man. If you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, just keep on trying. You're gonna make it. Let's go. That's this week's motivational minute. It was brought to you by Equip Expo. Equip Expo is going to be October 22nd from October 22nd through October 25th down in Louisville, Kentucky. The code MAC50 will save you 50% on your Equip registration. So get signed up now. I know those hotels are filling up fast. So I would suggest that you get your hotels booked and all of that. There's going to be 25 to 30,000 people down there, all types of extracurricular activities. We really shut Louisville down when we get down there, man. It's going to be a phenomenal show like it has been for me since 2021 when it completely changed and revolutionized my business and my life because I got to see how amazing and how big our community is and how big our industry is. You're not just a grass cutter. We all start out that way because of our mentality. But when I went down there to Equip Expo, I'm telling you, my mentality changed from grass cutter to business owner. And now we're gonna be on the stage down there this year. So get down to Equip Expo. Mac 50 will save you 50% on your Equip registrations. Let's get to this week's winner of the week. I don't know if you've seen, but streaming is changing the game. Back in the day, you used to have to pay pay-per-view to see the Mike Tyson fight, the Evander Holyfield fight, the George Foreman fight. Yes, I am that old. I seen George Foreman fight. He wasn't just the grill guy like he's been for so many other people in the generation after mine. I watched him box, seen him knock out Michael Moore. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I've been watching sports forever and it's always been pay per view. But Netflix changed the game just like they changed the game on Blockbuster. We used to go to video stores and all of that, and Netflix tried to actually sell themselves to Blockbuster. They said no. Netflix said, okay, my man, we're going to change the game. The future is coming. The internet, it is here, and we're going to stream eventually. And when they did, everyone went to streaming. It's just like how TikTok changed social media. Now it's interest media because TikTok came and people only have 3-second attention spans. That's why I started the show tonight by talking about the $100,000 because I know you're going to want to hear that. And then I get to motivate you with a motivational minute, tell you who a winner of the week is. And this is all because of social media, right? Well, that's what TikTok did. So I knew I had to start that way. Well, Netflix changed the game too when they did the streaming movies and all of that. All right. And then they also changed the game. I believe this may have happened prior to, but when Jake Paul um, brought his boxing match with Mike Tyson to Netflix. Right, and there was probably something I believe before that. He might have done something before that on Netflix, and it was like breaking Netflix, right? And now the UFC is on Paramount Plus, and all boxing matches, it seems now are going to streaming platforms, whether it's going to be Netflix or Apple TV, Paramount Plus, whatever the case may be. But there was a unifying title fight last night for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world on Saturday night between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. We talked earlier about never stopping. All right. Terrence Bud Crawford grew up rough with his mom. His mom says I don't even think she's ever told him that she loved him. And that helped him to build up this armor so that one day when his Goliath came, in the name of Canelo Alvarez, just like a lot of other Goliaths have come his way. I want to say he's something like 40-0 or something like that with 31 knockouts. So he's amazing. He's like the fighter of his generation now. Well, he did what a lot of people didn't think he could do, and that was beat Canelo Alvarez. And when I say beat him, he didn't just beat him. He put on an absolute boxing clinic. And he took home the title with a unanimous decision that I think wasn't even as close as the judges said it was. I don't know if you watched that fight on Netflix, do me a favor and comment down below. Did you think Crawford would win? But I also got to see a lot of cool things from a champion that lost and a champion that won. They asked Canelo Alvarez after the game, they said to him, and in case you haven't figured it out yet, Bud Crawford, he won. He's the winner of the week this year. this today. But they asked Canelo Alvarez, what he thought of Bud Crawford, and he said, "I tried my absolute best." He tried his best, but he just couldn't figure out Bud Crawford, his defense, how he was reacting, his counter punching, and all of that. He just couldn't figure him out, and it was very frustrating. And this is one of the best boxers in the history of boxing, mind you, Canelo Alvarez. He's destroyed everyone except for like three fighters. Okay, but he couldn't figure out Bud Crawford. They asked Bud Crawford after the fight in the post game press conference. They said to him, "Bud, when did you know you were going to win the fight?" Now, they asked this question thinking about the fight. When in the actual fight did you know you were going to win? Was it the third round? Was it the fifth round? Was it the seventh round, the ninth round? Was it the last round? When did you know you would win? Bud Crawford said this: "I knew when he signed the contract." Whew, man, you got to believe in yourself. There's a lot of people out here who ain't going to believe in you, and that's okay. Bud Crawford had a lot of people not believing in him, and then he made history. He's still undefeated, and now he's undisputed in like four different weight classes. You want to tell me about greatness? You got to believe in yourself if you want to be great. And Bud Crawford today is the winner of the week because he put his greatness on display, historical greatness. I'm very happy I got to witness it. Thank you to Netflix and my membership to Netflix for changing the game so we could see great fights like this. There's pay-per-view is dead. From now on, it will be streaming. So decide what streaming services you like and are going to have the things that you enjoy, and then watch them. But don't just watch them to be entertained. Watch them to learn and be inspired so you can add whatever dope greatness that you see on display on TV. Success leaves clues, greatness leaves clues. You can watch and hear what these people have done. A lot of times it's just on YouTube. You just got to search it and you can see their training routines, what they're eating, and all of that stuff. And you can adopt that, right? So you can get that same greatness in whatever it is that you do. Because athletics is translatable, if you ask me. That's my opinion. But that was this week's winner of the week. Shout out to Bud Crawford, the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. Let's go. Let me clap it up. Oh, that was crickets. Let's clap it up for Bud Crawford. Now we got to get to the word of the week, and then we will do this quick weekly recap and bring our guest on so we can hear about 100,000 this year. Let's go. Every week, my man Marcus Tate. Eventually, I'm gonna get some imaging so I can just press a button and you hear all of this stuff. But Marcus Tate, light bringer in my life, sends me something every week, and I like to share it with you so you can take it with you through the rest of your week, and it hopefully will help you. But this week's winner, this week's this week's word of the week is capacity. Capacity is defined as the maximum amount something can contain, produce, or achieve. When I think about the word capacity, I see three levels: full, half full, or empty. Our goal is to stay at full capacity. So when you examine the container that we are trying to fill, our container is our mind and our body. We cannot hold our greatness with cracks and holes in our container. The container needs to be prepared with what we are going to be prepared for, what we are going to hold. We must develop ourselves to hold the maximum capacity, as we never know when we will have to draw upon our reserves to achieve the goals or assist others in need. For I am already poured out as I drink, as a drink offering, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have found the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. That is from Second Timothy chapter 4, verses 6 through 7 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a good week. Marcus Tate, fill your cup to capacity so that you can help others. I really like that. If the more you have, we're taught to be cheerful givers. The more that you have, man, the more cheerful you can be. But even if you don't have money, you don't have to give in that way. You could give by words of encouragement. You could give by a helping hand. Man, you could give just by praying for someone when they don't even know that you're doing it, but you are. There's a whole lot of ways uh, to help fill other people's cup up, but make sure that you got people around you that are helping to keep your container full and you make the repairs because sometimes people are going to be in there with a hammer, sometimes even with, maybe a bullet, and they'll poke holes in your container, right? You just patch those up and get other good people around you so that you can win in your life. Let's go. Stay at full capacity. All right, let's get to my quick weekly recap. This is going to be lightning fast because we got a lot of comments here in this show. My man Clark Williamson is in the building. Adept Lawn Care, Catspaw LLC, Tri Cities Lawn Care, Hughes Professional Lawn Maintenance, Horning Lawn Service. What's going on with you? How's everyone doing over there on Instagram? Sincere Jacobs 19. Over here we got Harold Wilson Jr. I already mentioned Drew a bunch. CR, I mentioned everybody that's over here on YouTube already. All right. This week started off rough for Captain Jack and I. He was on a solo mission. So he went out today. And when he got out there, we've been having some trailer issues, man. Shout out to Short Track. I only had this trailer for a year and a half. The damn ramp springs then broke, so now we just lifting the thing up. I got to put a gorilla lift on eventually. The damn wire mesh then is all the welds broke, so now I got to put wood on the damn ramp. The mowers keep getting stuck on the metal in between the ramp and the gap in between the ramp and the actual trailer. So while Captain Jack was out there, he couldn't even get the mowers off the doggone trailer. So I told him, just go around the house and do all the trimming. You probably could get however many done today, doing all the trimming, and then tomorrow we're gonna go around. All we'll have to do is mow. So Captain Jack did a hell of a job today. There is very little growth. We are still in a crazy drought, so not too much has grown except for weeds. So it's not like anything looks terrible, right? The grass may have grown an inch, maybe two, if that, right? We all know 2 inches ain't gonna get much done. Okay. Phew. But anyway, yeah, he went out there, he did that. The trailer has been having crazy issues. So I'm gonna have to drill some holes through it, put some carriage bolts in, tighten everything back up. All right, because as we know, it's always better when it's tight. So we gotta tighten these screws back up and put some carriage bolts in and get a gorilla lift. That's what we're going to be doing for the trailer. I'm probably going to start that tomorrow, obviously, because we can't even get the damn mowers off the trailer. So we had to back it up, leave them outside, and all of it. It's been a cluster F, to say the least. But I dropped a new YouTube video with my homie Brian Sundin from H&S Lawn Care. He and a couple employees back a decade ago, we're cutting grass outside. He was actually out cutting grass outside my house again. He still has that house. And so I seen him out there. I went out there, shot a video with him real quick. It already has 1,700 views. Go check it out. And yeah, that's so we got a new video of a lawn care setup. And I got some shop tours planned over the next week and a half because I'm gonna be doing a series of Pittsburgh guys here as we lead up to Equip Expo. And as I say that, again, I mentioned earlier Equip Expo. Um, that we will be down there. I'll be I'll be down there Sunday night all the way till Friday. All right. So I suggest you come down there. But Wednesday night, October 22nd, from 6 to 9 p.m., we will be having the 2025 Winning Life meetup. I will put a link in the comment section here in a second, and it will always be down in the podcast show notes or the YouTube video description or Facebook or on my link tree. You can see that at Mac_landscaping on Instagram and sign up for that. It is free, 100 grab bags to the first 100 attendees. We got food while supplies last, so get there early if you want to eat. There's cash bars available. We will be playing 3 games. We got the strike challenge, we got the rock paper scissors tournament, we got the best dress contest. All of the games will have prizes associated with them. I'll have 3 to 5 door prizes that'll be sponsored by Winning Life University, which you can sign up for now. It is free for the Winning Life University Facebook group, and then we have a paid group as well that we do bi-weekly Zoom meetings. I'll tell you about that here in a second. But come down to Equip Expo October 22nd, absolutely free. Sign up, bowling, pinball games, dartboards, arcade games, pool tables, cash bar available upstairs and downstairs. It's going to be live. It was absolutely amazing last year. So I suggest you sign up as soon as possible. We are already well over 100 people registered. So it's going to be the dopest event on Wednesday night. Be there or be square is what I always say. And I hope you sign up because I want to meet you, shake your hand, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be one of the people that wins something down there because it's all about winning in life. All right. So get down there October 22nd. Like I said, we have the Winning Life University Facebook group, which is now open. It's free to join that. Come in there, talk to the guys, talk to the gals, share ideas, person to person inside the group. Post your videos, follow each other on Facebook and all of that. It'll be and all your other social media platforms. It'll be absolutely amazing. And then, like I said, we got the bi-weekly online meetup group, which there is a small fee for that, but we do masterminds, guest speakers. We're sharing trade secrets, sharing templates and things like that so that we can actually win in our business, but also creating a brotherhood and a sisterhood and a familyhood so that we can all grow and win in life, sharing wins, sharing losses, being there to pick each other up when we fall and being there to celebrate victories whenever we win. It is a dope thing. We've already had 2 meetups. They've been absolutely fire. And so I suggest you come check us out at the Winning Life online meetups group for the bi-weekly meetups. But now we have to get to today's guest. $100,000 is a big milestone when you start your own business. I do lawn care. You may be watching this and doing a different service business or some other business altogether. When you make that first 100,000, man, it really makes you feel like, I mean, I felt like good about myself just by having a business at all, making $300. So whenever I got the six figures, I really felt like, yo, what? Who I could not believe it, right? And now we've been doing it on a regular basis for the last 6 years. All right. So I remember what it felt like. My man hit me up. He let me know that this year he's going to be hitting $100,000. So I asked him to come on the show. And without further ado, we got my man, Tyler Perdue
Hey,
with
what's up, guys?
Alpha Care Plus. What's going on with you, homie?
Oh man, living the best life, cutting some grass, getting some
Cutting some
cash.
grass and getting some cash.
Yeah, buddy.
I
Dream
like
job.
that. So, if you've ever seen the show before, Tyler, I don't know.
Every single one, brother. I got you.
I
Yep.
appreciate, man. I really appreciate you. I hope that me standing up isn't too jarring for anyone. I can't help
No.
it. As you can see, my ADHD, I got to move
Yeah.
around. I feel like my energy is way better.
I
I might
about
lose
did
my
it.
breath a little bit. What'd you say?
I about did it. I about stood up, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna take a seat. Can't match the energy, man.
my man, these people in the comment section, they always be trying to throw me off. But
Yeah.
before we get going, we always start with we got to let everyone know because this is gonna come out on the podcast who you are, where you from, how long have you been in business, what do you specialize in, are you solo, do you have crews, and your equipment set up. So basically, we just want to know who
The whole
you
gist.
are with your business, and then after that, we'll get into some other stuff.
All right, man. Well, yeah. So Tyler Perdue, owner, lovely family operated company. Me and my wife. She's the biggest supporter, honestly, whenever it comes down to anything and everything of this growth of the company. Um, you know how it is. Your wife is your complete, foundation, right? So, anywho, um, man, I've been in business for like 3 years, but really to me, it felt like it was real this year. The first year, you know, I did game developing and coding and wanted to go to school for all that. And I realized that AI is just going to take it over, right?
Mm,
So I do it as a hobby. I enjoy it. But my dad owns the HVAC company. Did that for like a few years and just didn't like kind of the approach to having to be there. And, like if you don't fix their issue, they're going to be sleeping in cold, stuff like that. So we were out on a job. I saw a guy come up, pull out a cigarette, smoked it, flicked it, and he was out. And I asked him how much he made, and he said like $70. And from there, it sparked everything. I took my dad's old mower. It was a Husqvarna 2014 with 280 hours. It's in that corner right there. It's got about 410 on it, so respect to Husky. But yeah, so I mean, on year two, completely worked at a fertilization company. You know, basically was working about like 50, 60 hours with them for 3, 4, 5 months, and then doing like 2 days on the weekends, kind of figuring out where I can fit. I've got a 3-year-old, so it was like right in the grasp of being a dad, doing this and kind of taking that responsibility of, will this actually work? Like, am I wasting my time? I didn't believe in myself in the beginning because it was more or less kind of like, oh, he just goes and cuts grass. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll be some supplemental income that I can kind of like have, whatever. But then I really took it into the approach off of like Mike Andes, Brian, I mean, every single other person. Coming October of last year, I actually went to Equip Expo. And let me just say, you hit it on the nail whenever it comes down to like, you are a professional. Like, you walk in there, I'm gonna be honest, I walked all around, talked to everybody, and it was more or less like, quick. I didn't want to be like, I didn't feel like I was included into that group of people like yourself, where you have a real business and you're actually making good money as a full-time operator, right? So last year it completely kicked off. I mean, I quit my job with the lawn, the fertilization gig and all that, and just went head on. I mean, it was like fall leaf cleanups. It was the worst time to just like, this is my full income. But we broke at like $45,000 like at the end of the year last year, and that's on top of my 60 hours a week job that I was
So
doing.
you were working a job and
Yep,
doing the lawn
exactly.
care at the same time.
Yeah,
I,
and a
so
labor job
many,
at that.
so many people start. I think that's how most people start. That's
For
exactly
sure.
how I
Yeah,
started. I was doing two full time jobs,
I
completely
know.
different industry. And so I think most of us are like that. So it's crazy. Like, that's probably why a lot of us relate to, podcasts and things when we hear other people's story, because it's like, yeah, I can remember that. So
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I wasn't even really keeping track. So I'm happy that at the beginning of your business you were keeping track. So you kind of already knew, like, I'm at 45K. I was literally doing it for the money
Right.
in my pocket for that day so we could
Cut
go to
off
Texas for
sleeves and just got the push mower, man. I got
no
all I gotta
doubt.
say. The fact that you went for that for 5 years, respect, man. I literally went the first year. I used the push mower, and that it was a 46-inch sit down zero turn, and I just hated push mowing. Every backyard, I was charging a minimum. I thought $60 an hour, you're doing good. Go off of Mike Andy's dollar per minute, you're doing awesome. But you really don't look at everything in between it, right? So I started looking in between all the numbers, figuring out what I was actually spending, and then going past that, I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm just gonna trash this, mower, and just go for like whatever I can do whenever it comes to credit. So I kind of took the pinch on getting a Revolt SD, 34-inch bad boy.
Okay.
It's what I have like right next to me as a dealer. I went on it and I put like 200 hours on it as a main machine, cutting 4 acres plus with a 34-inch deck. It was terrible. Um, so
Well, we all got
yeah,
to start somewhere,
yeah,
bro.
exactly. So you got to start somewhere, man. And whenever it comes down to it, like the real inspiration is like, no matter what you have, I've seen everybody, like you say, the truck in the trucks or whatever you want to call them. That's definitely going to be you if you want to get into this. Like, you got to start at that point and then build yourself towards where you want to be. And like you say, don't chase the Joneses. So as you can
Yeah.
tell, I got my Skags here and whatnot. I kind of chase the Joneses a little bit on the Skags. I ain't gonna lie, but
They're good mowers.
100%. But there is benefits to it. Whenever you come down to like attachments and all these other things that you can get on these commercial grade mowers. I mean, it really changes the game. It
So
does.
now you're full time in this?
Yeah, I've been full time this full year, and that's the only
Awesome.
reason why I was able to reach what I was able to reach.
And
So
are you solo? Do you have
yeah,
crews?
so I've been solo ever since the day I started. I've always wanted. I've had a like stay at home mom. Always been there. She's my right arm whenever it comes to anything and everything.
Mhm.
So I wanted that for my kid, and so did my wife. So whenever it comes down to it, she's a really hard worker, and she wants to be in that kind of era too. So I don't really count it as a solo. I mean, every time that we get the baby off it to the parents, she's there, she's doing it, she's killing it,
Oh,
tossing.
she's with you?
Oh yeah,
Oh
she'll
yeah,
straight
that's
up
hard,
out edit
bruh.
anybody, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
she's killing it. She's killing it.
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
listen. I've said this plenty of
Bless.
times on this podcast in the 90 some episodes that there are, but like you hear old people say it a lot. The biggest decision you're gonna make is the person that you marry, bruh.
Yeah,
And if your person is willing to get out there and grind with you, bruh,
yeah.
you man, you can't fail.
There's no
You
thank you.
can't fail. They get to see what you're doing. Like
And the growth. Yeah, for
bruh, I
sure.
promise you, my business is so much better this year than it was last year because now my wife is involved in everything.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah.
before she was just innocent bystander, just
Listening to your nonsense
listening.
about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully we got money in the account. She
Yeah.
ain't really
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But now
Exactly.
she does, and she's involved, and it's made my life even. I always say stress free lawn care. Like, come on, bro. If your woman don't know or your significant other doesn't know, you know what you got going on,
Right.
they're stressed out. Where you think they're gonna do to you? Stress
Right.
you out. So
Exactly.
soon as she's seen, like, yeah, whoa, you know, well, I don't need to be stressed out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's dope when they're out there with you. My wife comes out with me if I need her, but she pretty
Yeah,
much stays at the
I
crib
really
now.
try to prevent her from coming out. I'm gonna be honest, because I know it's rough, especially in the summer heat, man. That was so like actually, I actually just fractured my rib.
Mm,
So like, this happened 3 4 weeks ago. Um, Completely like out the wing, boom, it happened, and I was like, all right, well, I got to go work tomorrow, and I just fractured my rib, and I'm literally like, I can't sleep, I can't breathe, the whole 9 yards. And I hired some high school help, but she came out and helped me until that guy came.
mm-hmm.
Had him for about 2 weeks. And from there, I mean, realistically, I realized that there's a benefit to having an employee, but there's more of a benefit to having a partnership and someone that like shares a vision with you, right? Because
Mm,
obviously, like my wife is going to go out there and she's going to bust her butt. You know, she's going to put in all the effort, all the care, that everything, like the flame in your heart, right? But whenever you hire someone, you're paying them $15 an hour. Maybe they get 20 if they work really good, but whenever it comes to no talent, never been on a trimmer, never, you know what I mean? Like you're going to get what you pay for. So I
yeah.
learned that lesson, and I had to make my mistakes, going forward after I let them go and everything. And I just realized from that moment that if I want to stick to my quality and everything that I've built, I'm just going to have to do it myself, or I really try to like nitpick and find those key individuals that might involve your business to the next level, like hardscaping or fertilization, like all those kind of exterior things that you can do on like year 5 or year 4 or something like that.
Mm.
So
So let me ask you a question because one of the biggest things, and the reason I like talking to people like you, because you're like me, but you
right.
might not be like me in terms of what I
Yeah,
want to do with my lawn
exactly.
care business. So, are you the you want to grow? Do you actually want to have crews later on, or are you? I wouldn't say comfortable is a bad word. I don't want anyone
Right.
to ever be comfortable,
Exactly.
but there is a point where you have diminishing returns. And
Right.
so if you are a
Exactly.
solo person and hiring an employee is a diminishing return for you, you might not ever want to deal with that. And
Right.
guess what? That is okay.
Right.
You do not have to be the person that is like, I'm gonna grow my lawn care business. Nah, you could be the person that's like, it takes how much money to pay for my life.
Right.
And once I pay for my life, if I want to do extracurricular things, how much more do I have to add to that so that I could do these extra things to make it worth me doing what I'm doing? Because the sacrifices are going to be made here. So I like to talk to the people, but I always want to know like where do you want to go? And it don't have to. You could be where you are right now and be like, I'm fine. I want to be how Mac is, just one
Right.
employee and just do this. But in my future, I do want to go here. So what do you kind of feel like? What's your thoughts on how you want to stay? Do you want to stay solo? Do you want to add some people and grow?
For
What's your
sure.
thoughts on that?
So yeah. So honestly, man, like just getting into the like full year this year and knowing what I'm able to do, and I'm able to charge what I want to charge, and I really like took stand and said, all right, I'm just gonna charge what I'm worth, because you can hire anybody and you can look through everything, and I've realized that my strength is my quality. So like whenever I saw 60 70 Google reviews come through in a year and a half, I'm like, okay,
Wow.
people obviously love me. Like, they want me to go on their property.
Mhm.
So they don't want Chris or John or whoever to go on the property, right? So I kind of realized that from the get go, I built the company as a franchise model. So it'd be like, the Friendly Lion, Alpha Care Plus, kind of generalized terms for lawn care and landscaping, right? So personally, with my 3 year old, who knows where I'm going to be in 5 years, 10 years, like you said for yourself. God's going to bless us in whatever way that He believes that we deserve. And realistically, I love what I'm doing. Like it's really tough and it's hard during the summers, and you got to make up the gaps for the winter. If you don't have a bunch of snow, like we don't have any in Ohio. So last year there was a bunch, but whenever it comes down to like what I want for my company, and my family is like you said, if we got to spend $3,000 a month to live, I want to make at least 4 or 5, right? Like I want to feel comfortable to the point where I can go on a vacation once a year, or have those certain things to where my family feels comfortable, secure,
Yeah.
and all that, right? So as long as I can stay in that gap, I know what, like you're saying with the capacity. Like personally, I haven't even felt my capacity point yet, and I'm already at that 100K point, and I'm like, what am I gonna do past this? This is insane. So
Yeah.
my like everything is wherever I can bring it, realistically, but like let's say from 10 years from now, if I can bring this thing to where, I have 250, 300 Google reviews and a whole bunch of good interactions and a lot of back end on my, website, customers, splitting things in between commercial accounts and residential, trying to gradually maybe bring it to just commercial, to the point where I can just be in and out. I'm locked in for the 36 weeks a year, get paid that. I know exactly what I'm getting paid. And I can put myself on a salary, kind of ride that until I feel comfortable to maybe make another company.
Mm.
Because, like, you don't have to stay in the same kind of industry, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, everybody that are smart, once you get to that point where you're like, okay, do I want to go into fertilization? Do I want to have some fun in hardscaping? Man, I could go do house washing. I could do pressure washing. So, like, I have a whole game plan where it's like maybe 10 years from now, I'll sell this thing, whatever the number is for it. If it makes sense, it makes sense. Somebody can run that as a franchise model, just like Augusta or any of these, other
I
guys.
like it.
Yeah. And then, once I'm real old, maybe I'll do some house washing, just to have fun with it. But, once my kid's like 13, 14, if he's feeling like he wants to make something out of this and see how, our life improved and how we benefit from it and how he can benefit from it. If he wants to go into the same industry, then I would love to actually sell this and then make a new one and build it for him and be like
Yeah,
Skylar's lawn care. You know what I mean?
that's
And just make it
fire.
for him and then set that off. And he doesn't want it, then I'll take care of it and I'll eventually, do something with it and then go back. You know what I mean? Like that grind, what you're capable of. And if you stick to hard work and good work ethic and just constantly stick to your word, man, like genuinely, like everybody will be there for you because they know that you're not lying to them. You're straight,
Right. That is
talking straight
big,
to
bro.
their face. Like this guy knows what he's talking about. He's going to get me where I want. If it's going to cost this much, I'm not even going to call the next guy. The amount of times that I send a quote and they're just like, I don't even care because I know you're doing it. It's not going to be, Joe, John, and it's not some chuck in the truck industry. Like I got
Mhm.
my stuff set up. We got insurance, good equipment, the whole 9 yards. So
Yeah.
it's really like backing what you believe in and then building trust into your own process and then finding out what you can do and then what that cap is and just keep going until that cap hits. And
I
like,
like that.
not to continue, but you did say something about the services. And my goodness, right there with you, 35 different services in the first year. I'm like, I'll clean your gutters. I'll put a new walkway. My first job I ever did in the whole world on this Alpha Care was putting in gravel, a 40-foot long gravel walkway that I did with a flat shovel from my grandpa's like shed, and literally just shoveled the whole thing out. I drove over there in a 5x8 Lowe's trailer and got a ton of gravel put in that thing, and they were like, "It's gonna probably bend the axle and whatnot." And I'm like, "You just do it." Like, the job's over 800 bucks.
1,600
Worst case
pound
scenario,
capacity.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So I mean, we got it done, man, and now it's all overgrown with weeds, and I didn't do it right, and I've been trying to contact her to like, hey, I'll come do it for free. I know what I'm doing now, and she's a lot
Well,
older, so but
I
hey.
agree with you. It don't just stop with other services and lawn care. Like once
Right.
you start this, if you're watching and you just got started or you are thinking about starting, It just breaks your brain.
It
Once you
does.
get into this and you see, "Oh," well, it might start with lawn care, right? For me, it started with just cutting grass, and then I was like, "Oh," they asked, can I trim their shrubs?" And then "Oh, I got leaves, and I need a fall cleanup, and can you plant this?" And all these different things, and I was like, "Oh, there's all these different ways I can make money." The same thing happens in real life. So
Mhm.
once you start a business, like, if you're even cutting grass, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Once you start one business and you grow that to any level of success, uh, it just makes you like, "Oh, I can do this." So
Yeah.
now it opens your mind to other opportunities and other businesses that might not even be within what you actually started with first, because we all have different passions and things, right,
Yeah.
Tyler? And
Yeah.
when you have
And
a
honestly,
different
yeah.
passion for something else, I like to say fish tanks, right?
Yeah.
You might
There
like
you
fish,
go.
but so now you're doing this because you wanna go fish, and maybe you see that, oh, if you just put fish tank in YouTube right now, there's someone live with
Right.
fish just swimming, a camera pointed at a fish tank. They ain't even doing anything. But someone's watching that. Why? Because they're passionate about fish. So your brain opens up to all these other possibilities. But we got you on here because you're gonna hit a milestone, or you maybe have already hit a milestone of $100,000. And being solo, I think this is a great opportunity for people to hear someone who is finding a level of success being solo, because the majority of us are like you and I. They're either solo or they have one employee.
Right.
There's
The
one Brightview in
the
the world.
weekend
There's a
warrior.
whole bunch of companies that have a lot of employees, but guess what? They're the minority. We are
Yeah.
the majority when it comes to the lawn care industry of, lawn maintenance, property maintenance. It is these smaller companies that are ran by you and by me. So, what are some things that helped you go from 45 to now this year you're going to hit 100,000, or maybe you already have. Let's give some tips on for people who are solo or thinking about coming in here, because $100,000 is going to make anyone's ears
Yeah.
perk up when they've
I
been an
made
employee their
like
entire life.
I made like 20K a year before this. You know what I mean? It's just
Wow.
ridiculous that that's even. And yeah, I mean, like honestly, whenever it comes down to like reaching this milestone, I made a joke in the start of the year that I was like, what if I hit 100K? Like, just what if? Like maybe like maybe I'll hit 60. Let's try to hit 60. And like one thing I realized is like always set your goals way too high, because it doesn't matter if you catch them a month from now, you'll catch them a year from now, 3 years, 5 years. Just know that your goal is something that is attainable. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing is like, man, build your future. Don't let someone else take your future. So like, I don't care if they pay you $40 an hour. That's not what's for me. You know what I mean? Like, if you make $1 million a year, I would rather have this than that, right? Because I know that I'm pursuing my dream constantly every single day. Every single dollar that I've earned is because I went out there, even though I didn't want to at 7 a.m. and I didn't want to work 10 hours that day. Whatever it is, you can also find a stress-free lawn care kind of system where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna work 5 hours a day. If you worked 5 hours a day and you had, you just run the numbers. I mean, you could make just as much as working 8 to 10 hours at your, job, working 5 hours a day. So if you want more time, you can have more time. But
You
we
could
all
double
like
what you make.
100%. I mean, I
Bro,
worked
I
two
was
days and
making
yeah,
in a 16-hour day,
yeah,
working my second full-time job, $130 after taxes. And now every damn Monday,
right,
we're
right,
almost at 3K
yeah.
for
I mean,
lawn
I'm
maintenance.
doing literally like my monthly income at my like best job I've had is what I make a week through the company. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous to me. I can't even fathom it. There's going to be a lot of expenses, so you can't look at okay, 12 grand a month, 15 grand a month, whatever it is that you brought in. Um, like who knows? Like you can't just be like, oh well, I made $300, like you said. Stuff it in your pocket, go back home. I made $300. You do 5 years of that, you realize that 2 years of that you just did it for free. So
No
the
doubt.
number one thing that brought me to the growth of where I'm at, honestly, Like you were saying as well, I've had like 3 or 4 different companies before this. Like I've tried
Okay.
everything and anything. So I've always been entrepreneurial, never loved school. Ever since I was 14, I owned a company. So none of them worked. Maybe $1,000 here, $4,000 here through the 3 years I did it or something.
Yeah.
But it was a passion and I knew I loved it. So I consecutively did it, and I try to find that passion that you have and then just bring it into a monetary value. Like everyone says, if it's not work, then if it's something that you love, then it's not work,
And
right?
it's not work. That's so
Exactly.
good. I
Well,
love that. That's one of the best sayings. But so you went from 45, now you're gonna go to 100.
yeah.
We want to help some people here. So
Oh yeah.
what is
I'm
one
gonna give all the
thing?
tips and tricks I could possibly think.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the first tip that you would
First tip,
give
no matter
to
what, don't even
increase?
buy a mower. Don't even buy a mower yet. Go on
Hmm.
Google, make your Google page. You've said it a million times. I hope someone hears this and makes that Google page. Because man, focus on that. Like literally, you don't gotta do nothing else. Like you can do some like Facebook replies and be like, hey, I'll come trim your bush for $100 and then get a review from them and like kind of market it that way. You know what I mean? And like big thing is like just get 20 reviews, man. Like just go out there. I'll do it for free. I don't even care. Like just something. Like build value to the point to where someone's gonna be like, wow, Tyler came out. He did an amazing job, and I'm gonna type some words on this Google review. Right?
Why Google? Why do you think why should people
Man, you
work
don't
on
even
building
gotta
that
pay money
Google?
on Google, and they'll come to you. Like you get to the point where you got so many good reviews, they're not even gonna look anywhere else. They're gonna be like, okay, I'm looking at, this guy's 10 years in business, 15 years in business, whatever. This guy's got 75-star reviews and not one bad. They're going to pick you over the 4.9, 4.8, 4.7, like the
Yep.
whole 9 yards. So it shows like credibility. The biggest, hardest thing that you're going to come against is credibility. Whenever you start the company, you say, all right, my name is, you know, Alpha Care Plus. Whenever I thought of that, it didn't even matter at that point because no one knew my brand or trusted it.
Hmm.
So I had to go build trust and then make that a thing. So I didn't know what to charge people. I've never, I worked at a lawn care company right before to kind of like while I was building it up, kind of figure out what they were doing, what systems they were using, like kind of eavesdropping in their process and picking up some goods and bads. So that really helped because I realized that they were lacking on price, they were lacking on equipment, and they were kind of just letting things flow for the last 5, 6 years or whatever, right? So going into it, knowing that I had to have a really good process to the point where I could actually go sell someone on something that didn't even really exist yet. I had to sell them on myself as Tyler.
Mm.
So, you know, door hangers, you like I did all of that, got a few, like if you got the time, just go out and do it. Like do 1,000 houses, you'll get some calls. I've got calls 3 years ago from a door hanger that I did, and it's not even the right phone number anymore. And it like goes whatever. But like that's the biggest thing is that if you have time, go utilize it to market. Bring yourself, I mean, I spent like maybe 150 bucks on, little door hangers or whatnot. You could even do business cards, put it in the door slot. But realistically, like the Google is the big thing, and don't go past your means. Like I personally, I had 3 grand. I bought a Trailblazer. It was a 2008, 160,000 miles. It was brink of death. All right,
Yeah.
and I knew it would make me a year because realistically, I knew, the first year I think I made like 22,000, 19,000 for 3 months, and I was like, wait a second, this is a new truck. Like I could go buy it, well, new to me truck, like a
Yeah.
2018 Silverado, whatever, for like 18K, but I knew that, from that point that little Trailblazer wasn't going to serve me well, for what I wanted to see in my company versus just being a chuck in the truck. And I
Okay.
was able to have that 19,000 kind of sparingly, didn't even pay myself during that process at all. $0 to my personal bank account. Just kind of lived off of my own savings, to make it work.
Yeah.
But realistically, like I did in the beginning, like you can just work for somebody, and let's say you have to spend 3,000 a month, you got to make 3 grand a month, and then anything else after that, you're making profit and you're just deducting expenses, right? So like, just keep on going, and then you'll figure out the numbers. And going into the next year, you can see if it's going to be a good fit. My realistic approach on that is that if you are making gross value of more, maybe even double, honestly, like if you make 24K a year, probably get close to like 48, 50,000 maybe a year, at least in my opinion,
Mm,
just to feel comfortable, because you're going to pay 30% in taxes and then probably 20% in deductions, expenses, and that's bare minimum. Like I'm investing
right.
like 60 to 70, 80% of my money straight into equipment, like just dumping it, because I know going into the next year it's going to be worth it because I did it last year.
I did the same thing. So
Exactly.
good.
Exactly. And you just see the benefits to the point where it's like, I'm honestly like at the point where I have every single one of my things paid off, zero credit cards,
So good.
nothing I have to worry about. And 12 grand a month is what I'm getting after, I pay myself or whatever it's got to be. Like that's what's going into the company, and you can keep on building it to that point.
That is so fire. See, so many times, my personal philosophy is if I buy a machine, I'm gonna pay it off that same year. I'm gonna take, even if it requires me to not pay myself, I'm gonna
Yeah,
take all my extra and put $4,000 and $5,000 payments on the mower and make sure that I pay it off. Now, when I say I don't believe in doing things on credit, when I say credit,
right,
that can sort of be misleading
for
because
sure.
I will buy. I'm not going to spend $15,000 in cash, right, or 18 or whatever to buy this mower when I can spread that out over the course of the season and make smaller payments and just pay it off at the end of the season. But the reason I do it that way is because I don't want to have the stress. You can say right now your margins are different than they would be if you had
For sure.
mower payments, if you had credit card payments because you bought all your small equipment with
Well,
that,
yeah. And honestly,
right?
like I actually started off that way. That 34-inch bad boy, it was like 6 grand, 6,300. I literally opened a personal Discover card for 6 grand. It was like my final credit card that I could take, because I'm like, Tractor Supply. I did all their financing stuff with like trailers and a new mower and like all this stuff. I went through like their bad boys, Maverick, Magnum, this, that, and another, whatever, whatever. Whenever it comes down to like, if you are working at that job and you have good credit, I'm I'm not gonna say that I'm with it to do credit, but I know that I'm like educated on it. So if I have, if I'm gonna spend $6,000, I'm gonna have $6,000.
Yes.
If that makes sense. If not, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to have 12. So like if you're building to that goal to where you want that new machine, just put, let's say you're making 3 grand a month, put 1 grand aside, 1 grand aside, 1 grand aside. And then you'll be like, oh, I got half of the cost of the mower, and you can justify it. But whenever I started off with that 34, I did just swipe the credit card. I had 15 months, no financing or no, whatever, whatever interest. So I paid it off 3 months before, and I was just like, we're
And
done.
see, and that's okay. See,
Right.
when I say, so I know people who literally went out and bought three brand new mowers, a
Yeah. Spend like 30 grand.
aerator, two trucks. You and when you do all of that stuff, right? We're talking about making 100K here. All
Yeah.
right. If you make 100K, like I said, this is a milestone for a lot of people. It was like fireworks were
Breathtaking.
going off when the first time I did that. But I also only had a truck payment at that time.
Right. Yeah.
All the mowers got paid off, all of that stuff. So when I did that, I wasn't spending 99,000 to
Right.
make 100. This is asinine. And there's a lot of people who are out here that we might see on the internet or whatever, and we admire them because they're amazing, but they have mower payments or whatever, and we don't actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
That's,
the
catch them
only
with the jump.
payments I have are my two trucks. That's it when it comes to my lawn care business.
Yeah. And vehicles
Also,
are a whole different
besides
thing.
our insurance and other expenses like
Right.
that. But
Right. Yeah. But honestly, like on the equipment side, man, like I said with that Trailblazer, like I bought it used, paid cash for it, and the truck I ended up trading it in for a 2010 Silverado 1500. It's bright red. I call it Clifford. Um, Literally 172 miles. It The engine blew on 174. Okay.
wow.
I drove it 2,000 miles. I paid 13K for that truck and blew 2,000 miles later. Same year, start of the year on that 44,000. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, completely SOL. And I could have just said, all right, I'm going to like get rid of the 12 and then go buy a new truck and put it on finance and do all this. But I just said, you know what? I'm going to work with my mechanic, and paid like 9K out the door for all new wiring, the engine replaced, the whole 9 yards. So, it's got maybe like 10,000 miles on that truck now. But I mean, that was the smartest decision I made whenever it comes to that. It's reliable, it's great. And like, I don't know about you on equipment. I know that you like started out push mowing, you got the walk behind, or
I
the
went from a
squirrel
push
timeout.
mowing straight
Timeout.
to a,
Yeah.
John Deere stand on.
Well, yeah,
I
the
skipped the
tank,
walk behind.
Yeah. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be honest, that tank story almost got me. I even submitted some quotes to go get a John Deere. I was like, wait a second, I can put
they're
this thing on fire.
expensive.
Yeah.
Them mugs are expensive, bro.
Yes, they are. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let you keep that quote. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, whenever it comes down to like, I just wanted to kind of touch on like the equipment that I went through, because I realized you just got to make do with what you got.
Yeah.
100%. You do not need the fancy commercial. I'll drive past all these guys. They're solo guys, about the same age, maybe whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they got like 5 Ferrises and like a 20-foot tongue. It's just crazy stuff. I see them all the time, all the time. I'm like, man, I can't wait to be that guy, man. I can't wait to have that thing. And, I finally came to the realization that like, you really don't need anything past
Nope.
what your account's set for, right? So if I have
Yes.
4 guys in the truck, maybe I need 4 mowers. But obviously, your mentality behind you need a backup mower, 100%. I believe in that because we all have problems. I mean, my Husqvarna, just this year, it broke down. That was the first mower I started with, like the 0 turn. And I went to my first property in the morning, hydro went out. Couldn't get it up or down the trailer. I'm over there pushing that sucker up. It's 30 minutes away. It was the worst thing. I call the wife. I'm like, we're SOL. I don't know what to do. It's, freaking out, blah, blah, blah. I chuck that thing up there. I head back, call it a day, go take a break. And I'm thinking. And God brought me a true gift. Honestly, true gift. I was like, okay, I ain't got nothing. I'm going to go have to push mow something like acres. I don't even know what to do at this point. So I go over to Tractor Supply and I see a Magnum, MZ Magnum 54-inch, sit down, 0 turn, whatever. And it was like a return, and it had broken spindle and a broken bolt and whatever. Got it for $1,800. It's a $4,800 mower. So that by itself was an extreme blessing. I walked out of there, $1,800, swiped on a credit card, paid it off the way out. You know what I mean? Like, I went back, changed a few bolts. It was $5 per washer and like $15 for the inner rod and whatever. It was perfect. I cut 200 plus hours on that thing this year,
That's
and
fire.
then sold it for $2,500. So I made $800 on top of it after putting 200 hours on it, and went out and was like, all right, now I'm selling the 34-inch sand on, which I didn't even know why I did that. I just didn't like it. Like, it was, you get on the
Sometimes
scag.
yeah.
You start moving the scag, you're like, wait, this is a machine. Like, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you get on the bad boy, you're like, okay, wait, this is like some weird controls, whatever. So, yeah, I straight up sold that thing, 4,800 out the door, paid 6. I had like 200 hours on that thing. Lost a little bit. Glad who I sold it to. Amazing person that's locally. Definitely was glad that I could help him out with that. Supporting his son with college and doing all this stuff. Beautiful story. Love it.
That's fire.
Yeah. And then,
So, my
yeah, go ahead.
bad. Go ahead. I
No,
don't
go
want to
ahead.
cut you off. I was just gonna ask because we're running low on time
Of
now. But
course.
making $100,000 as a solo entrepreneur, that is all about efficiency.
It really is.
I know
You should.
exactly what it feels like. So, give us a little rundown. How many? I probably should have asked this at the beginning,
Oh,
but
for
how
sure.
many properties are you taking on? Are you doing weekly stuff? Like, give us a
Okay,
rundown on how
for sure.
someone who's solo, how many properties you take on, and then how do you remain? How did you set yourself up to be efficient? Because
Yeah.
$100,000 is nothing to sneeze at
All I
when
gotta
it
say
comes
is
to
that
doing it
that's a
by
really good
yourself.
point that you brought up, because I didn't even, it just right over my head. But man, this whole year has been focused on efficiency. That's the only thing I care about. I mean, realistically, like, I realized, well, first off, let me just say that I got up to like 56 accounts.
Mhm.
I've been blessed to be able to pick and choose some and start dropping people that's got dog poop everywhere, got poop on my face. And I'm just like, I'm done, like
Oh,
I'm ending it,
don't get
man.
me started on that, boy.
Yes, no, we all know that struggle, man. You get one poop on your chin. All I gotta say, that's the difference too. You own the company. You say goodbye,
Make a
Clint.
rule.
Right,
Off
goodbye.
with their head, Queen of
Yeah,
Hearts.
literally, get the sniper scope out and pull the trigger, man.
Yes.
Like, I swear, just do it. It'll make you happy on that next Monday. All right, that's all I gotta say. But you work for a boss, he's gonna be like, suck it up, Anyways, so I was blessed to get to that point. I got about 10 on a property manager standpoint, about 6 on commercial industrial sites, or whatever you want to call it, residential units too. But the rest, I got about 36 residential-ish, 38, somewhere around there.
That's good.
Yeah, and I mean it's running very, very smoothly. In the beginning, using the 46-inch Husqvarna and the 34-inch Bad Boy, I had a trailer that could only hold one, so it was a 5x8. It's either you're picking the big mower or the little mower, and I got one backyard in that area that I'm servicing that day, I gotta bring the small mower. So then if there's a 4-acre guy, you gotta just do both, right? So having that efficiency in between both of them, getting a 6.5 foot by 14 foot trailer. I have about 2 feet as like gas storage, push mower in the front, blah blah blah, and I'm able to fit a 36-inch and a 52-inch on that. So then every single day I'm bringing the exact same equipment every single day, and then I know that whenever I pull up, I'm spending like 1 minute to get that 36 out to do the backyard if it's only a small situation. So like, I don't know if you're a big Jobber fan. I think you are. I've heard you kind of sponsor him a few times. Yeah. So honestly, it's worth every penny. I'm gonna back that. Like, support. I used Wix before. That's what I use my website on, is Wix.com. They're great. It's not too expensive. Whatever.
Shameless plug. There's a Jobber link down in these notes. Get you a 14-day free trial.
Exactly.
So check them out.
Point being is that it's good for website. All right. It's not good for CRM. And I'm not here to bash nobody. Not here to bash Wix. I used them, but Jobber has changed. I mean, you see it, 45,000 to over 100. Hopefully, Jobber's been able to do that because I send the professional quotes. I mean, all the different options that they have for review.
Are you saying Wix was good for website but not good for CRM?
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Get card on file, automatic payments, changing days of service, and sending updates and all this stuff. You can't do none of that on Wix. Okay.
You could take payments through Wix though?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you can have a card on file, and it's a subscription thing. But guess what? It happens on Wednesday, and it rained on Wednesday. They just got charged, and then you can't change it on any other day. You can only change it to the next week. So then there's this whole thing where you got to refund. You lose a bunch of money. I figured out I lost a good amount of money on refunds.
I thought you said I thought you were saying Jobber was good, and then it's good for websites, but not as a CRM.
Oh no!
At first,
no.
So I just had to clarify that because we don't want to plug something and then
then
bash on the various.
No. So I'm gonna be real. Jobber, worth $100 a month, whatever it is. Figure it out. Make do for it. It will change you for sure. I mean, it will definitely put you to the point where it's like, oh, this is a big company, and then they figure out, hey, it's Tyler taking care of my stuff. So
did you start out with a CRM or did you work your way into a CRM?
I went straight into it with Wix. So I mean,
good.
I do payment subscriptions kind of deal. So I'd send them a link and then subscribe to this, and then went from there. But everything past that, it was nothing but heartache. I couldn't change nothing or fix anything. Yeah. So this year has been crazy good. Barely even doing anything whenever it comes to communicating to people.
Now, is that because you're using the automation features?
Exactly.
And how are you doing? Are you doing billing prepay or are you doing?
I'm close to doing where it's every Monday. We're just gonna go for it, but we might pull that off next year.
Next season.
Yeah, because right now I'm just doing it right after the service, complete job, process payment automatically, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, 1 or 2 didn't go through, and then once it happens once or twice, I'm just like, hey, listen, if this happens again, I'm just gonna have to drop you. So
it's frustration. So I mean, what you could do, I mean, next year obviously you can just start it. You're either
and automations, like you said, it was big. I didn't know what to do with automations. Do I do it in the morning, the night, whatever? I figured out that if you send them a text the day before at 7:45 is what I do, and say, hey, your service is tomorrow at blah 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 time, estimated window from blah blah blah, and then the day before that, it's sent out an email. So then they know that it's upcoming. And then if they get that text, then they're actually good for that day. But if it gets rearranged, then they get that same email that morning right before it, so it's like 7:40. So then they'll get the email saying, "Hey, it's actually been pushed to the next day because of weather, because of equipment, whatever it is." So having that to where it's already there, like I don't even have to touch it. If I change the schedule to one day, it won't get that text, and they'll send an email that 5 minutes before they send the text, so then they know, oh, I got pushed back a day. You know what I
I
mean?
like that. I personally, I hate once you get up to a certain amount
Oh, for
of
sure.
customers,
Yeah.
it's hard to just be sending text messages to everyone. Now, you
No
can
way.
do that as an automated thing, like through your CRM. You could
Right.
literally just click everyone in the morning and then send
Right.
out the text. We'll be there today. I personally, this was an efficiency thing for me because I used to do that. Hey, I'm coming by today. Make sure you leave the
Right.
money.
Yeah.
But when I
Yeah.
went to
Is it the
card on
mailbox?
file, I just was like, this is stupid. So all I say now is we will be here on, let's just make it Friday,
Yeah.
right? If
I know
we're
you're
gonna
safe
be there
time.
on Friday, if it rains or something, this is in my my service, like
Terms and
what
conditions,
the terms and
boys. We
conditions
all
that I
know it,
sent.
and you
So
gotta
those
have
will
it.
be available for you soon if
Yeah.
if you would like to purchase mine, so you can create your own or whatever, use it as a template, however you want to do it, plug and play, so you could do that. That'll be available for you real soon. But I put that in there, like everything that I can think of that causes an inefficiency. I done my best to eliminate it by adding it to this lengthy thing. Read it all. If you've ever bought like something online, there's all you ever heard a commercial on the radio and then the person starts talking fast at the end like
Yeah.
they're really going through the terms and conditions just in case, so you can't sue them when it
Exactly.
comes to a
Right.
prize or something like that, right? So you just got to have those terms and conditions, and every time something happens that irritates you or stresses you out or gets on your nerves, or this customer did this, you just add that as another thing in its proper
Yeah.
location. And so that's how I
No,
built mine.
I will say, like, do you mind if I touch on that just real
Go
quick?
ahead, brother.
So,
I'm here
like,
to help people.
I've been like nonstop changing my terms and conditions, right? Because like you figure it out, you start figuring out new things. Like you always say, you're just gonna always add to it. Big thing that I realized that I've been doing that's been beneficial to me, that's kind of like not been said anywhere. I do weekly service, no matter what. Some people in like year one, I've been kind of like taking care of a little bit, like 3 or 4 people bi-weekly, whatever, out of the kindness of my heart. No, I'm just kidding. But so, anyways, like you, like let's say I'm charging, like right now it's $45 minimum, which next year I'm going to 50. Like $50 weekly cut. If I skip you next week because of whatever situation it is where you just don't want to skip, like I'm charging half the cost, which is unheard of. I'm just like, I'm charging you $25. I'll see you next week. And I've had no questions. Like there's been maybe one one elderly lady that didn't like it. But past that, like I'm cashing $25. Like I'll even pull up to the yard if it doesn't need cut, charge for $25, and then I'm gone because it's a business model. Like you're not getting charged the full 50, so you're still saving money. And I'm coming out there, and who knows? Like during all this heat right now, like I'm out there hard edging some stuff. Let's say it takes me 30 minutes to complete the job. I'll spend 15, 20 minutes just out there, like making everything look real good, like edging the flower beds, or hard edging this, or trimming that, or taking, some, uh, whatever these guys are called, pruning scissors, and just snap a few limbs, like do something to where it's building value so then you can still go out to work. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I like that.
I will be to your property and I'll make sure it looks good. Even if I don't got to cut your full yard, minimum you're getting charged is $25. And I'll be out there to, still make it look good.
See, that's good. So that's another way to keep that revenue coming in
Right.
whenever you get into a drought condition like we're currently in,
Right.
and you might have to get half of it, but that's a good thing. And that's another thing about being a business owner. Tyler does it different than I do it.
Right.
Right? If for whatever reason I don't come mow, I don't charge anything. We just drive past the house and we keep it moving. If the grass didn't
Right.
grow, we're not going to cut it. And we have everything scheduled out. So shrubs are normally trimmed. Obviously, if a branch breaks or something, we just pick that kind of stuff up. But
For sure.
if we don't mow the grass, you just get a refund. So there's a whole lot of different ways to do it. Guess
Yeah.
what? No one's an expert. Do
Exactly.
what you want. It is your world. So
Yeah.
Tyler's going to do it his way, right? And I'm going to do it my way. And then you listen to both ways and then you do what's best for you. I never even
Yeah.
heard of no one doing what
Right.
Tyler
Yeah.
does. So I think that's awesome, bro.
Now, don't get me wrong. In my heart, okay, whenever you pull up to a crispy lawn and you're like, man, I can't do one thing on this thing, don't charge them. You know what I mean? Like, I walk by, I'm cool with that. Like, I try to stick to the mentality of like one skip per month. You know, just something like that kind of makes sense business wise, because you can't be like, okay, well, if you're gonna skip twice, then you're gonna be, you're just a bi-weekly client at that
Yeah.
point. So then you got to like make up the difference. But that's only during like really really tough kind of growth seasons and stuff like that. But during all this dry spell stuff, I took your advice and I completely shot over $30,000 worth of quotes to every single client I've worked for, including the people that are active, and I made like 8 grand. And I'm currently still trying to knock those suckers out. And hopefully we'll get some rain Tuesday. So
That's fair. So, all right, we do gotta get ready to close the
yeah,
show. I've already went past, but I've been enjoying this conversation with
absolutely,
you,
brother.
Tyler. This is fair. $100,000. What does it feel like to know that you're gonna cross that threshold now in only your third year uh, of business?
Man, I feel in shock and disbelief, and I know that everything rides on me, right? So like, if I want to continue this, if I want to continue to do more, figure out where I want to be in life, I have to go in next year with a good mindset and actually attack it, and not just, okay, well now I'm just doing my thing and it's just gonna keep guiding. Like, no, man, you got to stay on your toes, constantly be attacking what you want for the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. So be in that mindset, but also find freedom in your work. Go out, enjoy the weekend, go do some stuff. Don't overwork like my butt did this year. So finding that balance is going to be big. The efficiency is a big one. So really tie down on that efficiency, and then you'll realize where those gaps are, and then you'll have more freedom that next year. So just keep grinding, keep doing it, and before you know it, man, you'll be as financially free as anybody on this podcast, baby.
Man, that is excellent. So, I do want to know, like, what are some things that you do? Because when we get out there and it's
Yeah.
hot, and maybe, people don't, they just started out, bruh. And a lot of times people see Tyler now with these beautiful Skags and the Echo trimmers and the Darwin grips. They see Mac and they see the
Right.
white Ford truck and the trailers and the compound and all of this stuff, and they want to have that stuff now, but it's tough, bruh.
Yeah.
And people don't just get that. I'm gonna just say it, they don't get that shit overnight. It
No,
takes years of learning and failures and not
for sure.
giving up, right? When things go wrong, it takes years of rocks in the shins when you don't have shin guards or whatever, if that's what
Yeah.
you do. I ain't soft like that. So
No,
if a
no,
rock hit
we
my
take
shin,
them rocks.
it just is what it is, bruh. But
Yeah.
it takes years to get to knowing what you're doing so that one day you can, make $100,000. But at the beginning, it's really tough. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone who's just like they're starting out and they wanna get off on a good foot on their journey to $100,000, and mindset things have been maybe holding them back. Maybe they're
For
quitting
sure.
because that's how they always grown up. What have
Oh
you
yeah.
done to keep your mindset strong and then keep your belief high uh, in growing your business to $100,000?
For sure. So I mean, honestly, man, like just right off the top of my head, I can say that like whenever you're trying to get to where you're wanting to be, start small. Like me personally, I wanted to be financially free. That was my goal. To the point where I could understand money and I could have money work for me. All these, motivational people or whatever, whenever it comes to like money, like build your own bank, do all this, become your own financial, responsibility. Whenever it comes down to like finding out how you can make the money work for you. Because once you figure out what the money you already have or whatever you're earning, how you can delegate that to a better, like cutting money on groceries and this, that, and another, whatever. Like you put that same practice into your business. So like whenever you go into that, look at it as every day I'm building this to something better. You know what I mean? You're not going to know right off the bat. You're not going to know anything. I didn't even know how to make a business. I didn't know how to set up a Google profile. YouTube University, baby. We're already here. Just click in that type bar real quick. How do you start a lawn care company? Click enter, watch an 8-minute video, and go over there and just start it, man. Like, go over there and cut 1 yard a week, 1 yard a year to start somewhere to the point where you can find enjoyment in it. And then you'll figure out that whatever money comes, I'm okay with, because I'm out there doing my dream and I'm not building up someone else's dream. So keep that in your head. Know that you're your own boss. Whatever it ends up being, just go out and do it. Try it. If you fail, guess what? I failed 6 times before doing this. Like, you can go out there and fail, because every time you fail, you learn something, and then you're gonna go out there and do it better the next time. So honestly, you can't do better than that. Just keep going, because if you keep going, you're gonna keep building.
Man,
100%.
that was good, bro. That was good. I don't even think I need to ask the advice. You just, I'm gonna turn the show over to you for a second because I
Okay.
want you to
Yeah, go for
plug
it.
all your social medias.
Oh snap. Okay.
I'm gonna step out real quick, but tell us about your YouTube channel, your Instagram page.
All
How
right.
can people find you? Uh, Go ahead, knock that out real quick.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna be honest. I've been just now trying to get into YouTube because of our boy Mac over here. All right. I've been working way too hard to not be recording my work and put it out there. So I'm trying to show you guys what you can make per day. Do some landscape jobs, do some mowing jobs, whatever it is. I'm trying to do all that. So that's over on the YouTube channel. It's Alpha Care Plus lawn maintenance. So, just kind of started up, got a few videos out there. Just kind of go in there, tell me what you think, tell me what I can improve. I just want it to be beneficial for you guys, so you can understand that this is actually something that's obtainable and that you can go out and work for. So, right off the bat, that's the YouTube side of it. On Facebook, it's just Alpha Care Plus, Lawn and Landscape LLC. Instagram, it's just Alpha Care Plus. Mainly, I'm trying to tie down on some YouTube stuff and Facebook. So, if you can come over there, give me some love, let me know. Just give me any comments that you guys believe, could maybe improve my side of things to help you guys. That's my end goal of even doing any social. So, hopefully, I can actually kind of take some inspiration from Mac over here. He's doing an amazing job. Every single person that is watching him is going to improve their life. 1,000,000%. There's no questions about it.
Thank you.
Just the fact that I've heard the words from him and I listen to it for 10 hours a day. I can't even tell you one thing that I didn't learn something from on each episode, because this guy right here, he's got a heart of gold and he wants to make a difference. And that's all we need, baby. Come on.
Man, thank you.
Round of applause for Mac, baby. Come on, baby.
I,
Come on.
I appreciate that, Tyler. I really
Absolutely,
do.
bro.
It means a lot to me
Of
to
course.
hear people who watch and listen to the things that I have created, that it is actually helping them. It makes me want to do it even more. So I appreciate that.
So,
Um, I really
I'm just hoping
appreciate
there's a
that.
Tyler over there that's hearing me right now. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, that's exactly why I started to do what I do, is because I was affected in a positive way by people I seen on social media who changed their life, and I wanted to
Absolutely.
change mine. And I know that today's episode, people hearing of a solo guy making $100,000 a year this year is going to affect someone else, because maybe they're at that same spot we was at, Tyler,
That's
where it
right.
was like, what am I going to do? I'm making X amount an hour, or I see this person on the internet who's doing this. Let me just give it a shot. And they're
Yeah.
going to do it now because they heard you. So when you get to Equip Expo, don't be surprised if someone walks up to you and they're like, "Yo, I seen you on a podcast, or I seen one of your YouTube videos or something," because that's what happened to me. And as long as you are putting the person who is watching or listening, make it about them. I do share my stories through my own life. So sometimes it can seem like it's about me, but it is never about me. I just want to share my experiences so that it can help someone else, because I know that we
Exactly.
relate to other people, bro. There's so many people in this industry who
100%.
are just like you and me, Tyler. So I appreciate you coming on the show tonight, bro.
Of course,
Any
brother.
any parting shots before I let you go?
Man, every single one of y'all, you listening? Drive over to Louisville, Kentucky. Come say hi to Mac. Reserve your spot. Come say what's up. Hit me with some knuckles. My wife's gonna try. I'm telling you, she will beat every single person on the rock, paper, scissors. But if we win, we're giving it off to someone else. So we're just going over to have fun, man. And maybe next year, who knows? Maybe I can help you and maybe do a little gift. I definitely want to be a part of the community, because I can tell that this is the community that you want to be a part of, man. I mean, like you said, it's family and just love. We're just here to talk about our dream, and I'm glad that I found an outlet to do so. So,
My
I
man, I
appreciate it, brother.
appreciate it. You did an awesome job on tonight's show, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next time, brother.
All right, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Yo, that was fire. Tyler did an excellent job. Alpha Care Plus. Make sure you go follow him on YouTube and Instagram. DM him, give him some words of encouragement, man. $100,000 a year this year for the first time. Completely life changing for him. It was life changing for me. And if you haven't done it yet, one day it'll be life changing for you. But you can't stop. This week's last shot, man. Don't stop. Keep going. Right? Work for the dream that you want. But I want you to know this. If you see me or you see any of my friends who do social media and they have all of these things, or you may think maybe I have a lot of things. I don't, but maybe you think I do because you see me on the internet with some stand-on mowers in a truck, and maybe you're still push mowing. I want you to know something. No one is better than you. They just might have got there first. They ain't better than you just because they got zero turn mowers and you're push mowing. They ain't better than you because they got a trailer and you're putting your stuff in the back of a pickup truck or a van or a car. They ain't better than you. They just got there first. They just found the information prior to you. And now we are giving it. The people that you see on the internet that you might be comparing yourself to are giving the game away to you so you could change your life and you can win in life just like you perceive them to be winning in life. But remember, they're not better than you. They just got there before you and you can walk them down. You can walk them down. You could do whatever it is you want to do. If you want to beat them, you can beat them. But you got to take the first step, baby. Just like Tyler did. If you want to make 100,000, you got to do. If you want to make 1,000,000, you got to make 100,000 first. You got to make $1 first. You got to make 10. You got to make 100. You got to make 1,000. You don't just make 1,000,000 overnight. So if that is your goal, and you see other people doing it, it don't mean they're better than you. They just got there first, and you can walk them down, baby. Let's go. I'll see you down at Louisville, Kentucky all week at Equip Expo. Mac 50 will save you 50% off your Equip registration. I got the biggest, best meetup on Wednesday night, October 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. And then we will be doing the Lawn Care Power Moves live show from 9 to 10 p.m. Cash bar available. Come be a part of the community like Tyler said he wants to do. Get down there and see that you ain't just a grass cutter or a hardscaper or a power washer. You own a goddamn company and you're ready to win in life. Get down there around those people, man. Sign up for the Win in Life meetup and go create some relationships. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the Creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life because you deserve it. I'm out. Peace.